Powell signaling a cautious approach to further interest rate cuts. That is in sharp contrast to other Fed officials who have called for a more urgent approach on interest rates. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your regional radio forecast. Slight chance of thunderstorms today, otherwise cloudy skies expected. High temperatures reach up to 76. Northeasterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, slight chance of rain showers. Lows dip down to about 55. Hear weather twice an hour or online anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Right now, 67.
Experience the power of better connection with Connexus Fiber Internet. Connexus delivers ultra-fast, reliable speeds to keep you connected at the speed of life. Whether you're working from home, streaming your favorite shows, or gaming with your friends, Connexus has you covered. Say goodbye to buffering and dropped calls and say hello to fiber fast internet. Ready to upgrade your connection? Sign up today by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4 lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
This is the voice of the Eastern Illinois University Panthers, Mike Brad, inviting all of our fans from Peoria to the Indiana state line to listen for Panther football again this fall on WHOW's many platforms on AM, FM, and streamed online. EIU Panther football is part of WHOW's great weekend sports programming schedule, including a Best of Clinton Maroons sports broadcast and CBS Sports Radio. We'll bring you every Panther game start to finish right here on Central Illinois' news, agriculture, and sports station, WHOW.
CEO Paul Scarron here from Warner Hospital and Health Services in Clinton. Our trained physical therapists offer quality, compassionate care close to home. Find out more by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
The WHOW Morning Show is now video streamed live on the WHOW WEZC DeWittDailyNews.com Facebook page and on the new WHOW TV YouTube channel. Watch Morning Show host Seth Lawrence interview guests live, as well as watch archived video podcasts of any interview you missed. Whether on Facebook or YouTube, we're providing 2 more ways that Central Illinois' local news station, WHOW, delivers compelling content for you.
News time, 8 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Wednesday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast. At last Thursday's DeWitt County Board meeting, the board approved a contribution to the DeWitt County Development Council. DeWitt County Board Chair Joe Whitty says the county's support of the DCDC is something they want to continue because of the overall benefit of the organization to the county.
DCDC, Kurt Homan approached the board a little over a year ago, just looking for not only DeWitt County, but, Clinton, Farmer City, stepping back up like we had done years ago with helping with the funding. Obviously, they've been able to manage over the last several years with private donors and things like that. But if we expect them to be able to do more, we've got to step up with some funding. And so when we sold the marina, we allocated a lot of the proceeds, or a good chunk of the proceeds, to economic development. At that time, we thought let's get back into funding the DCDC so that we can essentially do our part to help spur economic development. Obviously, they've done a lot of great things the last couple of years, at least. We're starting to see some of the fruits of their labor.
According to Whitty, not only has the DCDC done great work in the county already under the leadership of Kurt Homan, but he believes more positive things are on the way.
It doesn't just happen, right? There's a lot of things that I know that Kurt's doing behind the scenes, putting in a lot of hours. And, if we want economic development to really, flourish in our area, we've got to step up from a county's perspective, Clinton and Farmer City as well, and just make sure that they have the resources they need to be able to do that. So we, like I said, we allocated some money to economic development. We committed $60,000, for the fiscal year. I'd like to see that continue. So we've got, we've got the new budget coming up. And again, my intention would be that 60,000 is something that we continue and I would hope that we're going to continue to see a lot of good things out of DCDC. So this is really just the county's commitment to them. They've been the partner that we've had to when we need something done from advertising or something like that. We've got them to engage, and they're doing a great job. So this is just kind of standing up on our commitment, and hopefully able to continue that for the years to come.
The DeWitt County Board approved $60,000 to the DCDC last week. While local authorities say bringing 80,000 or more people to Clinton for the annual Apple and Pork Festival doesn't create too many issues, Warner Hospital is beefing up its readiness for the weekend. On the WHOW Morning Show Tuesday, Warner Hospital CEO Paul Skowron told Regional Radio he and his staff are ready for the annual crowds that come to Clinton. Unless there is a big heat wave, Skowron notes they tend to not be very busy.
We have prepared for Apple and Pork over the years, especially happy and proud that we've got an emergency room that's now twice the size it was in the past, and we're fully staffed, and it's a well-oiled machine now. So we are looking forward to whatever Apple and Pork might bring us. Hotter than usual weather, which I hope is not the case, brings more heat exhaustion and things like that. But even if it's normal weather, if it's very sunny, you can have heat exhaustion. So yes, we are thinking of all the possibilities on how we can support Apple and Pork, as well as emergency room doctors. We coordinate with our emergency room doctor group to ensure that there are backups also for the entire weekend.
Skowron reminds of the hospital's Swifty Swine 5K Saturday morning. You can register all the way up to the morning of the run at Weldon Springs State Park.
Yeah, we've got our Swifty Swine 5K run that always runs the Saturday that kind of kicks off Apple and Pork for us, runs at 8 a.m. Out at Weldon Springs State Park. We've got 110 folks signed up already, and whenever there's nice weather, we generally get like another 20% just walk-ins on Saturday morning. So that is another hospital foundation fundraiser. So with good weather, we'll have a great turnout.
Very good.
And it's never too late. And as I said, you can actually sign up if you get there at 7:30 in the morning, as many people do. There are competing runs in Bloomington and other areas that can cut down on how many participants we have. But when there's nice weather, somehow they make room for all the 5Ks. It is at Weldon Springs. We run a trail, and it's all marked out already. Our facility director, Tom Hankins, camps out for the entire week on the week before, and so it is well planned and well mapped out, and alternatives in case it rains and so forth.
The Apple and Pork Festival again is this weekend in Clinton. Learn more about the Swifty Swine 5K by finding the Warner Hospital on Facebook. A local car dealer wants the community to come out to show off their sweet rides this weekend. Janelle Baum Thomas with Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton says the 19th annual Baum Chevrolet Buick Car Show takes place Sunday, September 29th at 9 a.m. Owner Scott Baum says they split their judging into categories based on the age of the car.
Of course.
This is as Janelle said, it's our 19th year, and we're really appreciative of all the participants that come for this good event to raise money. They come from about 30-mile radius around. We do get some from on the other side of Champaign and up in Peoria, It's the same weekend that there's a car show in Springfield. So on Sunday, we get some of those cars over here as well.
That's cool.
And they come because we have a good quality of car here to look at and to show, and we judge them. And they'd like to have their cars judged. So we go by years, and each class has about 20 to 30 cars in it, anywhere from modified cars to completely original cars.
Learn more about the annual show at BaumChevyBuick.com. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Sports is next.
It's time to think farm safety. Falls from high places or on slippery ground account for a fourth of all farm accidents every year. Stay on your feet by wearing safety shoes, by cleaning off footwear before climbing ladders, and by keeping all ladders in good repair.
Today and every day in 2025, think and practice safety first.
For all your agronomy, grain, turf, fuel, and propane needs, contact Evergreen FS, your one local supplier.
When you're an expert on soil and crops, you're a soil scientist. When you're an expert on the weather, you're a meteorologist. And when you're an expert on soybeans, you are an Asgrow farmer. Like you, Asgrow brand is relentlessly focused on soybeans, with localized products featuring leading genetics and weed management systems. It all works together to give you maximum profit potential. Visit Asgrow.com. It's all about the beans. Read and follow pesticide label directions, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
The Illinois Emergency Management Agency has designated WHOW's many platforms on AM and FM, as well as WEZC 95.9 FM, as standby radio stations for emergency messages to be sent for severe weather, as well as for the Clinton Power Station. We also have a direct link to the National Weather Service for watches or warnings to air immediately when they're issued. Keep yourself and your family safe by tuning into the WHOW platforms on AM, FM, or streamed online, as well as on WEZC 95.9 FM.
Make this school year their strongest yet. Book your child's back to school or sports physical today at SIU Center for Family Medicine in Lincoln. Keep them healthy, focused, and ready for success. Find out more by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. The Clinton Maroons were so beat up at Tuscola Friday night, they turned to their JV squad in the second half. Tuscola scored 32 points in the second quarter en route to a 39-0 win over the Maroons in Tuscola. Coach Ron Bass was very pleased with his young kids who stepped up in the midst of a multitude of injuries for his team.
And I got to hand it to our younger guys that played in the second half. We went with our JV squad. I mean, we're beat up. Our varsity guys are beat up, and that was part of the issue there in the second quarter. Zach Potts went down, and Keaton went down, and Jackson went down, and Josh, same thing. So it's, that second quarter, it's like you said, if you could take that away. But I was very optimistic, and I was happy with how our younger guys played. Offensively, we still got to find who we are. We are just, it's offense is just a real struggle right now.
An onside kick in the second quarter was a real turning point in the Warriors' win and 32-point outburst. Despite being told to be ready for the onside kick, his team wasn't.
But here's the bottom line, and we told Coach Mosier, our special teams coordinator, told our guys, don't leave early. Don't leave early. We've talked about it. We practiced it this week. Because we knew, Coach Romine's a good coach. He's going to see those things on film. And sure enough, they tried it and they got it, So hats off to them, for seeing that on film. And, our kids just got to be a little better job of being coachable.
Coach Bass was disappointed in the week of practice by his team and is hoping this turns into a learning experience for a young group.
Yeah, I told them, I said, I hope you learned something from this. We did not have a very good week of practice. And our Wednesday, Thursday practice this week was atrocious. And I hope they learned something from that, because you play how you practice. I mean, they can think that they can turn it on whenever they want, but that's not how it works. Right. And so I'm hoping that they learn something from that. I told them that at the end of the game. Like I said, I was pleased with our younger guys. I mean, I think we had at one point 7 freshmen out on the field. So against their starters.
The road through the heart of Central Illinois Conference doesn't get any easier this week when Clinton visits Eureka. Game time is 7 p.m. Friday night. Hear the action right here on WHOW and all our digital platforms. Monticello was approaching its Week 4 matchup against Decatur St. Teresa like a playoff game, and Coach Coley Welter felt his team answered the bell. Because of how difficult the Illini Prairie Conference is this season, the Sages approached their matchup with their former Okaw Valley rivals like a must-win, and Coach Welter felt his team bounced back after a lackluster win over Rantoul the week before.
I told him after the game, you're never going to be content or satisfied, and want to get the negatives out of the way first, which I didn't think there was many, considering let me put that. I don't think there are any negatives that aren't fixable. Like, I feel like we're obviously still work in progress, but very pleased with the effort. And it started with practice. I really felt like our kids licked their wounds from Friday night. They looked themselves in the mirror. They realized that that's not the type of performance we want to put out there. And it started Tuesday, and we really had a good week all week long. And I thought they came out ready to play tonight, and I'm proud of them.
Senior quarterback Nolan Bennykemper ran for over 200 yards with a pair of touchdowns. Coach Welter was pleased with that aspect of his offense, but still feels it's a work in progress.
The run game wise, I mean, obviously saw what we can do in the run game. We knew he had that kind of ability. You have to get better in the passing game. We'll continue to work on that. We've got to be balanced, but in some years, if we don't have the passing game, we don't have anything. And I thought, particularly with him, we were able to run the ball tonight, and that takes a lot of pressure off things when you have that going well. I think we've got to be able to, be more efficient with our passing game. Like, we've got to be able to quick game and take those 5 yards, 6 yards and set things up and put ourselves in good down and distance situations. But we will. We'll get there. I think he really grew up today in terms of just understanding things a little bit better. There was a play late in the half, or maybe early in the second half, where he threw the ball to Jake Robinson. It was a very good pass, but Jake got hit. The ball came out. It was 3rd and 4. And I said, I can't argue with the throw, but you could have run for the first down. In the next play, he did. And then down here on the goal line, they switched up. We thought they'd be in man-to-man. We ran a little pick play. They switched it up, and he didn't hesitate, and he ran it in. So I'm seeing those things out of him. He's had a lot to process. He's got to help a lot of his teammates out because they're inexperienced, and they've got a lot on this plate, but I think you saw what he's capable of doing and how much better he can still get.
With Bloomington Central Catholic and St. Joseph Ogden coming up next on the Sages schedule, Coach Welter says that win over St. T was a must-win.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 2 really tough games. This was, I mean, I can say it now, this was a must-win. We preached all week. This was for us, and so now we've got to keep building. The pressure's not off, but we know we're going to have the underdogs, and so let's get better and let's even steal them.
Monticello hosts Bloomington Central Catholic Friday night. Hear the action on 95.9 FM WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. Game time is 7 p.m. In a game heard on WHOW, Jose Caballero's RBI single with 2 outs in the 9th inning scored Aaron Judge, and the Yankees rallied to beat the White Sox 3-2 on Tuesday night, securing their 8th playoff appearance in their last 9 seasons.
The White Sox opened their final road trip of the 2025 season in Gotham on Tuesday night, with the Yankees playing the villain. Sitting on a 1-0 lead, it came time for the Sox to turn to their Batman.
A swing and a blast to right. Oh, that baby's going to go. Sox lead 2-1. Colson Montgomery with a towering fly.
Montgomery's 19th homer after the break sets the mark for the most by a White Sox rookie in the second half of the season. It's also the most by a shortstop in the first 65 games of his major league career. Alas, the Yankees had the last laugh with a 3-2 comeback win to clinch a postseason berth. I'm Jeff Meller, and I'll have your pregame coverage for Game 2 in the Bronx starting at 5:30 Wednesday night on the ESPN 1000 Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
And here tonight's Sox action right here on WHOW. Francisco Alvarez hit a tie-breaking home run in the 8th inning. Francisco Lindor and Brandon Nimmo went deep as the Mets rallied to beat the Cubs 9-7 Tuesday night. Alvarez gave New York a 9-7 lead when he connected with a 2-out homer off Caleb Thielbar after Brett Beatty led off with a single, and the Mets came away with the win after trailing 6-1. It was the Mets' largest comeback win this season. They moved a game ahead of Cincinnati for the third wild card, with the Reds losing 4-2 at Pittsburgh. Lindor led off the game against Cade Horton with his 29th homer. He also gave New York a 7-6 lead in the 6th with an RBI single off Drew Pomeranz. Nimmo capped a 5-run 5th with a 3-run homer off Taylor Rogers that tied it at 6-all. Brooks Raley got the win. Edwin Diaz worked the final 2 innings for his 27th save in 30 chances, and New York came out on top, even though starter David Peterson made an early exit. The lefty lasted just an inning and a third in his shortest start this season, allowing 5 runs and 5 hits. The wild card leading Cubs lost their 5th in a row after dropping all 4 games at Cincinnati. Nico Horner had 3 hits and scored 4 runs for the Cubs. Ian Happ chased Peterson with a 2-out double in the 2nd that made it 5-1. And the Cubs got another run in the 4th when second baseman Jeff McNeil threw wildly to first after fielding his grounder. That allowed Horner to score to make it 6-1. Horton allowed a run and 2 hits before exiting after 3 innings due to back tightness. Nimmo tied it at 6 when he greeted Rogers with a 3-run drive for his 25th homer. Lindor has 30 career leadoff home runs and 10 this season. The Cubs send all-star left-hander Matthew Boyd to the mound, while the Mets go with rookie right-hander Jonah Tong tonight. Alec Burleson hit a go-ahead RBI single with 1 out in the 9th inning as the Cardinals rallied against the Giants and closer Ryan Walker for a 9-8 win over on Tuesday night. Both teams are fighting for their slim playoff hopes, but San Francisco was eliminated. Ivan Herrera hit a 3-run homer, and Nolan Arenado hit a solo drive in the 2nd as St. Louis pulled within 8-7. Matt Svensson pitched the 8th for the win before Jojo Romero recorded 2 outs in the 9th. And the lefty got the win with the tying on 2nd after Willie Adames' double. Riley O'Brien entered and struck out Wilmer Flores for his 6th save. Elliot Ramos homered in the 6th, and Patrick Bailey had an RBI double for the Giants. Logan Webb allowed 3 first-inning runs on 8 hits with 5 strikeouts and 2 walks over 6 innings. Jung-Ho Lee and Adames each had RBI singles in a 4-run 3rd inning, and Christian Kotz contributed an RBI single. Down 3-0, the Giants rallied in the 3rd with 2 runs scored on third baseman Arenado's wild throw home after fielding a grounder by Ramos. Adames hit an RBI single to tie the game. Then Matt Chapman added a go-ahead sac fly. On Segazi's broken bat single in the 1st, the top part of the bat came lodged into the face mask of home plate umpire Malachi Moore. Giants athletic trainer Dave Groschner came out to check on Moore, who stayed in the game. Donovan's 4 doubles were a career best. He had 2 in a game, 7 times previously, most recently on April 6th in Game 2 of a doubleheader at Boston. Right-hander Sonny Gray pitches the series finale Wednesday for St. Louis opposite Giants lefty Robbie Ray. Get sports anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Our local hospitals are the heartbeat of our communities, delivering critical care every hour of every day for everyone, training the next generation of caregivers. Beyond the walls, their benefit to the community is everywhere, driving the local economy and supporting local organizations, initiatives,